Did you know that Neptune was the first planet to be found through math rather than through a telescope? We have all heard of the many planets that exist orbiting our sun other than Earth. We have all heard of these so-called ice and gas giants that exist, and we have all probably seen how Neptune is the furthest away from the sun. Finally, we have all probably seen this famous picture taken by Voyager 2 spacecraft, courtesy of NASA. I have done extensive research on Neptune, its many unique features, and many unique facts that exist. The purpose of my speech today is to tell you all about Neptune and all of its unique features. In my speech, I will go over Neptune, how it plays a role in our solar system, Neptune's surroundings, and finally, what's inside of Neptune. So, Neptune in our solar system, it was first discovered in the month of September in 1846 by German astronomer Johann Gale. Um, this was discovered after many other mathematicians and astronomers discovered Neptune and found or discovered Uranus and found out that its position was slightly off than what originally predicted. They inferred that this was due to another planet being nearby, and they were correct as this planet was later found out to be Neptune. Many years later, spacecraft Voyager 1 and 2 were sent out in 1977 on a space mission, and this space mission consisted of exploring Saturn for Voyager 2, which was then extended to include Neptune. This became one of the most successful space missions as many photos were sent back to Earth consisting of planets, moons, and rings, and planetary rings. So Neptune was found out to be the furthest from the sun, which would make it the eighth planet. It is about 17 times the mass of Earth. It is considered to be a jovial planet, which means that this has an extremely high mass with low density. And finally, an interesting fact about this planet is that 6,000 Earth days are considered to be 1 year in Neptune. So now that we have taken a look at Neptune's discovery, let us turn our attention to its surroundings, which consist of many rings and moons. So first off are its rings. There is a total of 5 rings around Neptune, and what a ring is basically just a band of particles in a narrow belt around a planet. Neptune's rings are mostly made out of carbon with ice, and the widest is around 3.5 miles. This was known to be true by Heckert. These rings are mostly made out of carbon with ice, as said before, and these rings are considerably younger than Neptune itself, leading many astronomers to believe that these rings are actually collapsed moons, which makes these rings to be very unstable, and they will eventually disappear. And in fact, one of Neptune's rings is expected to disappear in the 21st century. So moving on to the moons, Neptune has a total of 14 moons, or satellites as they are formally known. The most commonly known and researched moon is the Triton moon. It is the brightest and largest. This is true found out by website World of Physics. Triton is only partially smaller than our own Earth moon and orbits Neptune in a retrograde motion. This basically means that it orbits in an opposite direction than what Neptune orbits on itself. The moon Triton has a surface temperature of negative 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes it the coldest spot on the whole entire solar system. Not only that, but after discovering some things about Triton's atmosphere, it was found out that this moon had actually been captured by Neptune from an independent orbit around the Sun. So now that we have taken a look at its unique rings and moons, Neptune also has a very unique atmosphere. So Neptune is mostly composed of a mixture of molten rock, water, methane, ammonia, along with the mixture of gases like hydrogen, helium, water, methane, etc. And then when considering the fact that Neptune is the furthest away from the Sun, it is actually warmer than its other planet, its neighbor planet, Uranus. And this is due to the fact that while it's not actually warmer in terms of degrees, but it is actually warmer when we consider the fact that it is the furthest away from the Sun. So Neptune has a thick layer of pure atmosphere, um, meaning that it's mostly composed of this atmosphere, and this atmosphere can change at any time. Um, this can be true by this famous great dark spot that was first captured by Voyager 2, which would then go on to later disappear. This great dark spot is actually a hurricane and was found out to be about the size of half an Earth. Below the atmosphere lies a mantle, which is basically composed of an ocean of electrically charged water, ammonia, and methane ice. This was known to be true by Blackwell and Manor. So this mantle has an extremely high pressure, which means that its temperatures are extremely high. Following the mantle is the core of the planet, which consists of rock, iron, and even diamonds, which are made out of carbon after the immense pressure turns them into diamonds. So, in my speech, I have told you all about Neptune, the role it plays in our solar system, its many surroundings that include its rings and moon, and all about its atmosphere and internal structure. With this information, I hope you all have learned all about this distinctive planet. I hope we have all learned about the role this planet plays in our solar system. And hopefully, we have all gained a new perspective about life and how immense our galaxy really is. Like with anything, there is still more knowledge to be learned about Neptune and many other planets and how Neptune plays a role in our solar system. And since Voyager 1 and 2 are still active, we could still have new pictures or information available to use any day. As we can see from this chart of NASA, we see all of the many accomplishments of Voyager 2, which brings into perspective how huge this mission is and how successful it has become. Thank you.